Well, Mike, you'll be delivering the 11th Sir Donald Bradman Oration on October 23rd. Can you tell us how the invite came about?
It came by email, and it was very pleasing and gratifying.
How do you go about planning a paper like this?
Well, I've only just started to think about it really, and the difficulty is there's so much to talk about. The current state of cricket, Test cricket, 2020, Ashes, England and Australia, with all these matches back to back, not to mention the past, and also things about the psychology of sport, which I might like to talk about. So, I don't know yet.
Well, can you give us any idea of any of the themes that you might be thinking? You've just mentioned a few there.
Well, I thought I might quite like to talk about something that other people wouldn't talk about, which which would not be, umpire review system and day-night test matches and these important current issues, or the politics of cricket in the broad sense of politics. But I might talk about a bit about the past. I mean, a friend of mine did say to me, well, if you talked for 35 minutes about the Headingley Test, that would get the balance about right, 1981. But no, we talk a bit about playing against Australia and what it means and what it feels like, what it was like playing against Lilly and Thompson and Greg Chappell and people like that. But also about something about the psychology of sport. How does it fit into a human life? Why does it matter so much to those of us who love sport, at any rate? Some people feel differently, but for many people it matters a great deal. And what is it about that matters so much, and about cricket in particular?
Well, you've got a unique situation on your hands. This is in between back-to-back Ashes series. Yep. Does that weigh into it as well?
And that's obviously a way into it, yes. I mean, to talk about the current state of English cricket and Australian cricket, and I think it's going to be a good series in the winter, because, I mean, by winter I mean our winter, your summer obviously, the one that's coming up from November, because the Australian bowlers have done very well in England, increasingly well as the summer's gone on, and the batting seems to be coming together more. And England have got some vulnerabilities, so it's not, 3-0 or whatever it turns out to be at the Oval. We haven't finished this match yet, but whatever it turns out to be is not going to be a reflection of how it is in Australia.
One of those themes you mentioned earlier was the state of Test cricket. Do you see T20 being a threat, like some of the former players have said it is?
Well, it could be a threat. Not only T20 cricket, but domestic Premier Leagues the world over, primarily most importantly in India, because they have the most money. But, sorry, I'll start that sentence again. It's not only a matter of whether there's going to be too much appeal from 2020 cricket as opposed to long cricket, Test cricket, but there's also the question whether there's going to be a lot more emphasis on domestic cricket in Premier Leagues, especially the Indian Premier League, but also there's the Big Bash, and there's the Caribbean League and Bangladesh Premier League and Sri Lankan one, and there's the English 2020 League. Whether that's going to draw too many players and create a conflict between Test cricket and domestic cricket. So there is a challenge, but on the other hand, it's very good for cricket, that lots of new people are watching it, there's tremendous enthusiasm, it improves the various aspects of the game, the versatility of batting, the versatility of bowling, the speed and impressive quality of fielding, all these things are improved by 2020 cricket. I think, as Rahul Dravid, one of your previous speakers, said recently, Test cricket is like the trunk of the tree, and 2020 is like the branches. And one needs branches on trees, but one certainly needs the trunk. And I have to say also that Test cricket in England, fortunately, and I don't know the full reasons for it, has been doing well. We get full houses, not only against Australia, but against most other countries too, which has been gratifying and pleasing to those of us who still put it as the pinnacle of the game, or the trunk of the game.
Out of the 10 previous orators, 2 have been British, and they've both been knighted. Do you expect the same when you return to England?
That's a difficult question. Well, it's not a difficult question, it's a different question. No, it hasn't crossed my mind, Sam, but thanks for the suggestion. Are you going to put in a word in the right place?
I'm not that important. Mike, all the best, and we look forward to seeing you in October.
I look forward to it very much. Thanks very much.